All right, so we started off with our matrices by doing how they're named. Remember, they're named by how many rows, then how many columns. So if you have this matrix is named one row, middle name is always by, and it has two columns. So you have to be able to identify, to name your matrices before you can multiply. All right. So then we talked about when you're adding matrices. You have to combine what's called corresponding elements. So the element, this is in 1, 1. So this is matrix A, so this would be A, 1, 1. So you would add 1, 1 plus 1, 1. 3 plus 4 is 7. 1, 2 is 5. Plus 1, 2 is 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. So row 2, column 1, 2 plus 2, 1 plus 6, 7. So there's your answer. Addition and subtraction, you do what is called corresponding elements. Now, in addition and subtraction, they must be exactly the same. If they do not have the same names, this one's name would be a 2 by 2. This one would be named 2 by 3. You cannot combine them in addition and subtraction. Alright, so the next thing we did was called scalar multiplication. That's when you have one number on the outside. So you're multiplying each element inside by the number on the outside. So 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 7. Then you go 5 times 4. 5 times negative 3. Alright, so scalar multiplication, you're multiplying the one number by each piece that is inside your matrix. Now, we went and did operations in a matrix. Was our next piece. All right, so let's look at that real quick. All right, so what I said with operations within a matrix is like this. I want to know what matrix I can add to matrix B to get this answer. Alright. So I'm going to I want to know what's the value of matrix X. Alright, so I'm going to replace my X with a matrix the same size as the one I started with. So this is matrix X. Now, I have to solve for these values. I want to know X plus 3 equals negative 7. So at this point, I set up an equation. So I know x plus 3 is negative 7. I know y plus negative 1 is 1. So y minus 1 is 1. I know z minus 8 is negative 14. Alright, then at this time, I'm going to solve the one-step equations. So you're using your matrices to set up an equation to solve. Alright, so let's solve for x. Mr. Lee, what do I have to do to solve for x? Take 3 away from both sides of my equation. Alright, how do I solve for y? Ms. Johnson. Add 1 to both sides, because this is already taking 1 away. So in order to do that, you add 1 to both sides. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Alright. Mr. Murphy, how do I solve for z? Add 8 to both sides. Perfect. So z equals negative 6. Alright. So when it has a variable that you're needing to find, you have to set up an equation using your matrices. Alright. So that's our reviews. So now we're going to start anew. Alright. Matrix multiplication. Those of you in physics, you may have seen this. I know you've talked about vectors and stuff like that. Alright. Alright. So the first thing you must do is you must come up with the name. Remember, they're named rows by columns. Alright, so we have 2 rows by 3 columns. So this one has a name of 2 by 3. Alright, so the next one has a name. It has 3 rows and 2 columns. So it has a name of 3 by 2. In order to multiply a matrix, the 2 middle pieces have got to be the same. The last name and the first name of the second one have got to be the same. Alright, so can I multiply these? Yes. Alright, so the first thing you do, yes, they're the same. The 2 pieces that are left, this tells you what size your answer will be. The middle ones have to be the same. If they're a yes, the 2 outside numbers tell you your size.
What is that on there? It's a yes.
Yes, these 2 are the same. So yes, I can multiply them. And then these 2 that are left tells you what side you have left. Now, this is where it becomes different. All right. So you're going to multiply this 5 by this -4. All right. So you're going to go 5 times -4. Then that goes in parentheses. Then you're going to multiply 3 times -3. So then it goes plus 3 times -3. Let me show, and then you can ask. Then you're going to do 5 times 3
Okay, I see what you're saying. Plus 5 times 2.
plus 5 times 3. All right. So that first math problem becomes 1, 1. Becomes element 1, 1. So 5 times -4. All right. So this is -20 plus 3 times -3, -9 plus 5 times 3, 15. So -20 plus -9 is -29. Plus 15 is going to be -14. All right. Now, so we've done row 1 by column 1. Now I have to do my second one. All right. So we do row 1 by column 2. All right. So it becomes 5 times 2 plus 3 times 4 plus 5 times -5.
It's a lot.
All right. So 5 times 2, 10. 3 times 4, 5 times -5. Okay, so 10 plus 12 is 22. Minus 25 is -3. All right, so we did our first row and our second column. So the answer goes in the first row, second column. It was what, -3? All right. So now I'm going to erase this, and we're going to start with our second. We do the same thing. First number
I don't like this.
times the first number. It's not hard, it's just gets confusing. Can be good. All right, so you do 1 times -4 plus 5 times -3. plus, what did I say?
5 times negative 3.
Good. And then 0 times 3. All right. 1 times negative 4. Negative 4. 5 times negative 3. 1 time, or 0 times 3. So, negative 4 plus negative 15.
Negative 11. Negative 19.
Negative 19. All right, so we're on our second row, first column. So that answer is negative 19. All right, last one. All right, here we go. One. Nope.
No.
What'd I do wrong?
You did the wrong column.
It should be 1 times what?
2.
Good. So, 1 times 2 plus 5 times 4. Good. Plus
I done lost interest. But I'm done.
Alright, 0 times negative 5. Alright, so now we go back and we solve our 1 times 2, 5 times 4, 0 times 3,
0.
so 2 plus 20,
Negative 5.
Me negative 5? It's still gonna be 0.
0,
0 times 0 is still that.
But you
negative 5. I'm sorry, I couldn't read my writing. Alright, so 2 plus 20,
22.
22. So that is your answer.
Miss, I don't know if I was like
Don't give us a lot of questions. They give us like.
Alright,
It's easy, but it's just a lot.
that's what I said, it's easy. It's simply knowing your multiplication facts. So now we're back to using our math facts that we've been working on all year. See how they come back to us? Oh, people have wondered, why are we doing that? Alright. Jalen. Why do I call you Jacob? I don't even have a Jacob. Mr. Gibson.
Oh, I do got my hand up. I was stretching.
Oh, alright. So, boo-hoo!
Stop crying.
Okay. So,
That's so funny.
this takes a little bit of time.
Yes, it does.
Again,
Okay.
it's not incredibly hard,
It's just a
but it just takes some time.
A lot.
Alright. So I'm going to give you
5.
2 of them. 2.
3.
5 problems, is what I was going to say, to practice.
To practice.
So practice.
You get a grade for them?
Yes?
Don't
Don't we always get
That's what I'm with.
Alright,
Well,
so there will be 5 questions for you to use for practice. Eventually we will.
oh, good.
There'll be, our unit test will be over all of matrix.
This doesn't take like 3 days.
Alright,
This takes 1 day just by itself.
One day.
alright. So,
It's a small equation. Just imagine how big the equation's gonna get.
Boy, shut up.